Well, I just saw the trailer for Salem's Lot, which I did read. It's a while ago since I read Mr. King the King in Salem's Lot, and it looked okay. I initially did not recognize anyone, but doing a little bit more double checking, oh, apparently some of the cast members I do know. That said, it wasn't horrible, but it didn't look great either. I mean, it's just a big thing with horror movies, even though fans keep saying do practical, keep putting a lot of CGI gunk. So that was a little disappointing. And Salem's Lot is not a massively big novel by King standards. I mean, it's not The Stand, right? It's not The Stand. It's not like 1,000 pages, but it is a big story. So I was hoping this thing would have to be at least 3 hours to really do the story justice. But no, it's going to be around 2 hours. So they're going to have to really cut and condense a whole lot of stuff. A whole lot of stuff. That said, the trailer by itself did look impressive with the soundtrack. And if you don't know the book, you're going to be like, oh, okay, it looks like a nice, decent vampire story. But Salem's Lot is a lot more. If you really know Stephen King, it plays a very critical role in the larger Dark Tower mythology. So if you're a hardcore fan of King, this is pretty disappointing because it doesn't seem like it's going to link up to that, even though they have a really big character, a priest character, probably one of the best characters King has ever made. And it looks like he will be given a cameo role. So, given what it could have been, this is not what I wanted it to be. That said, HBO does have a good track record with films and horror films in particular, but I don't know. I don't know. It's not A24 here, right? They're not at that level. And it just seems they're putting stuff out. They're really just hungry for content, so they got to put some stuff out. Also, on top of this, and we got to be really brutally cynical that they're trying to get it going at the TV series. So I'm guessing this is sort of added promotion for that. And listen, if King wants to have an expanded universe with HBO Max, that is fine. I'm just judging the quality, and it seems like once again they're departing too much from the book. And it should be ideal because they have the budget to do more to the special effects. But again, the story, let's put it this way, it builds. It takes a while for it to get going. And when it gets going, it's really scary and spooky in the book. However, it doesn't seem like they're going to do that. It seems like they're going to speed run to the obvious to get to the vampires. And the vampires are going to start tearing apart things. That's not really what the book is about. The book is a little bit more psychological terror. I mean, the amount of supernatural in that book is actually fairly minimal. It does have great characters, and the story is very good. It's actually one of King's favorite books, but I don't know. I'm not sensing like why this would be that great a story. It just seems very generic and silly and flimsy. And apparently, it's from the Conjuring people. I don't know the Conjuring stuff too well. It does seem like a good director, and this cast is solid, but still, it just seems like, hmm, hmm. But then I was a little harsh on Doctor Sleep, so maybe I should be more nice to this thing. Is it good enough to take a look? Yes, I do think so. A lot of people are lobbying to put this as a film theatrical release. I don't know about that. It just seems a little too weak for theatrical. It just doesn't seem special enough. At least with the It movies, I can see why we would do that, but with this, I'm not quite sure why we would do that. So if you just want a like fun little King movie to tide you over, this should be it. But if you wanted like a really great adaptation, yeah, this is not it. Not it. Some of the more recent adaptations are again falling into that 1980s trap of just not being that good when Stephen King is involved. But there have been a few bright lights, so hopefully this one is just going to tide us over, and the It TV series will be amazing. But I got to be honest, it wasn't that great. So I will give this, I think, a very generous 6 out of 10, and I hope it's a lot better when we actually see it. But not a lot of confidence. Sorry.